Well, good afternoon and welcome to this week's edition of Drive Facebook Live. I'm your host, Bob Spitz, with my partner, Tony Whistler. And our special guest today is Kyle Berwald from 4imprint. Welcome, Kyle.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's great to have you. Now, you were at our last expo, and so I think some of the folks who are watching met you or know somewhat about your company. But I'll be honest with you, I didn't know much about your company and what you do. So I'd like to take a moment now and let you just introduce your company, what it is you do.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it was great being at the expo, and we did the red shirts to kind of let us know who's from Drive and
Oh, you guys did the red shirts.
yeah. So it
Ah,
was nice having those that we could kind of identify people from the very beginning and mention the partnership that we're just starting up now. The past couple of weeks we're really just getting it off the ground. So yeah, thank you for all of those that attended and that stop by and say hi. So yeah, a little bit about 4imprint. We're the nation's largest promotional product distributor. We are based in Oshkosh, Wisconsin, and that's where roughly 95% of our workforce is based as well. So we do everything from your giveaways, for your customers, all the way up through apparel, uniforms, things like that, and then display items, up to large massive displays that you might have at a trade show, flags you'd stick out in the on your terrace if you're having a special or to try to attract attention. We kind of do everything in between. Um, some of the things that set us apart from our competitors are that when you call us, you are always going to be speaking with somebody in the U.S. So I mentioned that we're based in Wisconsin. That's where if you call and you talk to somebody, they're in Wisconsin. You're not going to be speaking to somebody overseas. And we
when you
really,
call and you get a live person, right?
yeah, absolutely. If you
Uh,
call, you're going to speak to an operator usually within 30 seconds, and they're going to connect you with someone immediately. There's no call wait times. We
No,
actually have a
no
special,
digital dolly.
no, no,
that's great.
no.
That is wonderful.
We actually have a special discount that we will offer if there is a wait time of even 30 seconds, and it will give it to you right on the phone. And you can enter that on your order to get $25 off your order if you wait, while, to talk to somebody. So,
I'll have to
That's
set my stopwatch.
then you're over there hoping.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. But we can certainly mention this as we get into some of the special features of our partnership with Drive. But all of the members are going to get 10% off every order anyway. So you are always going to have a discount code, and that is Drive 10. So please make sure everyone's using that. You might as well get the 10% off, and then it also just helps let us know who's taking advantage of that and where you guys are coming from. So
And we'll have those links in the chat so where they can
perfect.
get to your and use that code. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's linked on your partnership page too, and it redirects to a page on our end as well for a landing page, just for Drive. So
Yep. Later today I'll show that. I'll show it before
perfect.
we call
Thank
it a
you.
day. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
Now, something that you and I were talking about earlier, Kyle, that I found kind of interesting and actually pretty amazing is who is 4imprint's target audience? And it seems to
Everybody.
be everybody.
Everybody. Yeah, everybody. So a lot of our industry does tend to kind of focus in on a specific demographic. And when we made the leap to online marketing, back in the 2000s, we really were going after everybody. So we work with folks that are just trying to do a family reunion and they want some t-shirts for their family reunion. It's a one-time order. We treat those folks the same way we would treat someone from a multi-million-dollar corporation, and everything in between. So really our bread and butter is actually the small businesses. We see, the best return, repeat customers and things like that, from that demographic. So I wouldn't say we target that, but all of the Drive members, that's kind of right in our core, focus. So
Nice. Do you have some
All right.
drive? I'm assuming you have some drive members already, particularly because you maybe got some guys at the expo, right?
yeah, we have some. Actually, I know one just called me and left me a voicemail the other day, and we got him with one of our sales reps. And then I know some folks were already working with us, just because they found us for some needs that they may have had in the past. Um, And I got that feedback from a couple folks at Drive as well, that they already kind of knew who we were. But for a lot of folks, it was the first time they've heard of us, and really even thought about using promotional products in some capacity. Um, and that's kind of that's always nice to be able to have that time at an expo, to kind of talk about how you can use, our items. And certainly we can spend some time today getting into that. So
Cool.
Yeah, well, I was impressed with your wide range of demographics. So I was thinking, how does your company help our guys? Because we have everything from small mom and pop startup shops, one guy doing everything, all the way up to corporate MSOs with 25, 30 stores. And that's a very broad demographic. And exactly how, well, because I figured you'd be targeting the big shops, big MSOs, but it sounds like you could also help that small shop.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, it kind of comes back to our philosophy of treating everybody the same. And that starts from the moment you give us a call, you're getting the same customer service folks, the same service that even the large corporations are going to get. And the things that we can offer, really even the smallest of shops up to the larger ones, is we're going to help you, from the very beginning of finding out what it is you need to order, what you'd like to order, and zeroing in on an item. And a good example of that is we send free samples. So to be completely honest with you guys, there's a lot of times that we haven't seen the particular item that you may be interested in. We have 40,000 items on our website. I think we're actually approaching 45,000 now. That's a lot of things, so we haven't seen them. So if you do need help kind of making a decision between some items, we're usually going to suggest taking some samples. We ship those directly to you, and you get to hold on to them and keep them.
You're fading out, Kyle.
What's that?
Just a little bit. You're getting a little
You,
quiet.
you're
Sorry.
fading out a little bit.
Yeah, so the free samples, we're happy to send those, and you get to keep those. We don't ask for you to ship those back, but that's a tool we use so that folks can kind of see the item in person. They can touch it, they can feel it. If it's apparel, they can try on the sizing, to make sure they're happy with it before they actually place an order. And that can serve in a couple different ways. So if you're maybe looking at several different item categories, you can get a little sample of each one. Or if you're kind of narrowed down to maybe a couple shirts, you want 3 different or 4 different shirts to try on, all in size large, then we can send each one of those so you can kind of make your final selection. So that's a great tool, and I always encourage folks to make sure you're using that. And all that requires is you just to ask your customer service representative to send a sample. You can also request those right on our website for a lot of our products. There's a button right on the product page that says request a free sample, and you can just click that and enter your information too. So a couple ways you can kind of go about doing that.
Great. Well, in our curriculum, because we have many workshops, because our core business, of course, is training and coaching, even though we have a nice selection of apps that complements helping a shop become more efficient. But one of the things that we teach in our material, in our marketing curriculum, is the importance of branding and having an ecosystem of your branding, which a smaller shop might not be thinking with, because most smaller shops can be very tech-centric. They're not customer-centric yet. And they're not looking at their business as how an audience would be looking at their business. So figuring out a brand, we teach them how to do that, and then also making sure that their branding ecosystem, that everything that goes out to the public matches.
Right, it's uniform.
It's uniform and it's not confusing. So how could you help them with their branding on that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, starting from the very beginning, we'll design a logo for someone. So it's not something where you can just say, design me a logo and send it to me. It's really a process that comes through an order. It can be even a small order, but we just need something because that's how it flows through our ordering system. But we will help somebody design a logo with one of our graphic artists, and send that over to you through an art proof. And once you approve that, the art file and your logo file are going to be with us forever. And that kind of goes back to what are the services we can offer, a small shop all the way up to a corporate store. We're keeping your logo on file so it is consistent on whatever you're ordering. And then, yeah, take advantage of that design tool because we're going to rework it for you. You don't need to pay, a graphic designer to go out there and do that for you when you can just use our services. So we also will manipulate it a little bit to make it fit on the item. That's one of the things our graphic artists do on every order. But to get back to your main question of, how can we help shops? Getting that branding consistency, looking at it from my end as coming from outside of the auto, technical world, when I see a business that has uniforms, has the same logo on everything, it does just create that next level of professionalism, I think as a consumer. And so the more you can do that, I know it can be hard for a business owner to go out and spend that money on those items. But I really do think that there's a return on investment there. You may not see it, that month or on a monthly statement, but I think you're creating that perception, with your customers and your clients. And so,
Yeah, well, we also teach positioning and top of the mind awareness and how having a consistent brand and promoting that on every channel available to them can help them get to that point where you're in a small town, you go, who can I trust for auto repair? That top of the mind comes up. Go, well, I saw this shop and they seem to be pretty good, right? And it's that perception
yeah,
of
absolutely.
professionalism.
Yeah, the branding and the uniforms goes a long way towards that. And then you mentioned top of mind, and that's really what the giveaways of the promo product world are for, is to create that connection, with your customer with that physical item. On our phone call earlier today, Robert, you mentioned some of the expos or events, the seminars that, some of your businesses have put on for folks. And if you can tie a giveaway item into that, maybe you're giving folks a flashlight or a tumbler or just something, they're going to remember that event for the next 6 months, year, 2 years. That physical item helps tie back to that seminar or event that you had. And so instead of just having that one impression of the event and then it's in their memory, and we all know how our memories are, sometimes they aren't the best.
They need jogging.
They do need jogging.
Where are we? Who am I?
And I don't know if you can see this. This is something that a friend of mine, Pioneer Truck on Long Island, gave me years ago, and he was just giving these out. It's a little back scratcher. And whenever I see it, I think of him.
That's
and I
right.
think of his shop.
Exactly. And that's that value that you're getting. So again, I know for a business owner, when you have, a monthly budget and it's your dollars that you're spending, it can be hard, but I think the return on investment can be there, when you're making smart decisions. And again, that's where our reps are going to be able to help you, kind of key in on some of those items.
And people like swag.
Exactly.
But now let me ask you about the reps, because you just mentioned them. So they'll actually get with, like, let's say we have a shop and he just goes, hey, this guy seems cool, I should give him a call. Knowing not a whole lot. He hasn't done our marketing classes yet. But he knows, we're partners, and he goes, I should call him. How are you going to help? Like, what are you going to do? You're going to give them some consulting on what merchandise they need, or how they're going to, is there packages, or how does that work?
Yeah, no packages. It is all, to order on an individual basis. And what our reps are really going to do is they're going to suggest items that they see are common or popular items and that they think are good choices. They are very broad spectrum because they are dealing with so many different folks. So we're trying to key in on those universally accepted and universally loved items. And so sometimes it can be tough to zero in on a specific industry and say, this is what you as an automotive repair business need to offer. But we can certainly help get there. Again, giving you universal items that everybody likes, and then through samples and conversation, kind of key in on some of those more automotive related items. And, a good example, we probably would get you into our automotive and our tool section on our web store, and look at some of those items because we want to create that connection again. So giving somebody a a screwdriver, just a simple little $1 screwdriver that flips back and forth between Phillips and flathead that they're going to throw in a drawer and they're going to have forever whenever they need to, tighten something up. Your brand is right there on that. So, that's one of those kind of solutions that our reps are going to help get people to. So.
Nice.
Now, some of our great clients are listening in, and one particular, Kevin Reichel from Stellar's Garage. Kevin says he just received 250 rubber ducks
Nice.
for Jeeps
Yep.
for his with the Stellar logo on it. It was an awesome experience, start to finish. He met you at the expo.
Perfect.
And Wade Lennon from Monica Motors in LA. Do you do any embroidering on polo shirts? We have our own graphics. We also source pens and keychains with our graphics. Do you do those items?
Yes, everything you just mentioned, we do all of that. One thing I do want to mention with apparel, I always like to clarify for folks because this question does come up. We do not take any apparel in from a customer to then decorate. So everything through us is really you're buying the shirt, and the embroidery or the screen printing or whatever method is included in that price. So you can't ship us anything you may already have. But yeah, absolutely. If you want to order some polos, we have hundreds of polos to choose from. And your logo is going to be placed on it for that price that you see on the website, minus 10% off for being a Drive member. So
all the merch has to come from you directly. Like you can. So what is the weirdest piece of merch that anybody asked for?
Oh, that's a great question. I work in the corporate world now, so I do tend to see more standard things. It's been a while since I've been on the front lines as a rep. If I have to go off my memory, which again, we all know how our memories are, they're kind of fuzzy. I had a customer when I was almost kind of moving into this role. He called me late at night, and he was a dispensary. And it was more so the whole phone call and experience was quite memorable because I could tell that he was enjoying his own product. And he was asking me for little containers that he could put his product in,
Right.
and sell it, or for his own use and for customers and things like that. And he was just, rambling on about going through all the different ways that we can try to store his product.
Yes.
That would probably jump out of my memory.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say potato chips at that point.
No, we do. We do get a lot of phone calls though, because our search engine optimization is so good that I used to get a lot of phone calls where people would type in, like, if you've got a Yeti and you search Yeti, 4imprint a lot of times will come up, even though we don't sell Yeti. And they would say, hey, my Yeti broke. I need you to fix it. And they thought we were Yeti. So they think we're the business because we always appear in the listings. So that's kind of like, I'm sorry, you have to explain, like, I'm not that company. I'm 4imprint, but.
Yeah, one of my motorcycle clubs does a good job with logos on mugs for what we call barley therapy.
Barley therapy.
Now, one of the other things that you and I talked about, Kyle, something else that we teach that can very much help, because we talk about branding, marketing, but we also talk about reputation, public relations, and something that can help shops a lot, and we teach this, is putting on some kind of car clinic or some kind of event, which you mentioned a little bit earlier. And how can, if a shop owner wants to put on one of these events, like a car clinic for the Boy Scouts or Scouting of America now, I think it's called, or for a women's shelter or young people to teach them about cars, what are some of the ideas that they could contact you that would help them with the branding of that event?
Yeah, so that's again where there's a couple ways you can go about it. You could tie in kind of a universally accepted and loved item like drinkware, whether it be a tumbler or a coffee mug or something like that. Something kind of generic that everybody would appreciate. And maybe on one side is your logo, and then on the other side is the organization that you're partnering with. And you have like a little text underneath it that says, clinic, women's clinic 2024 or something like that to tie it into the event as kind of a commemorative thing. That's one option. Little bit of a caveat with that is we just have to make sure that we have licensing approval to use the other organization's logo. Like Boy Scouts of America is a great example of there's restrictions on that logo. Or you could do some sort of, again, automotive technician related item, with like a flashlight or there's
How about tire pressure gauges?
I was
We
going to
Yeah.
say
give away
pressure
tire
gauges.
pressure gauges, emergency road hazard kits, something automotive related, is a great tie-in, to keep it in the industry. So you could kind of go two ways with that. And that's always the tough thing with promo products is kind of picking out that final item. And those are the two branches that I usually recommend for folks is either make it very specific to an event, to your industry, to you, to your location, or you can go the very general route to make sure that it's universally appreciated and accepted. You might lose a little bit of that specialness, but you know that they're probably going to keep using a nice tumbler or ceramic, coffee mug. So those are a couple ideas that I usually would give someone.
Yeah, I'd also think because some of our folks are very very much engaged in helping this industry and trying to attract young people to our industry because, like all skilled labor, the automotive industry is always hurting for applicants. But going to a job fair, I think, would also be a place to have some kind of little giveaway for the students who are attending a job fair.
Absolutely. Yeah, because that, and then that, again, you're having that one touch point with them at a career fair, and that's it. Now hopefully you made an impression on them that it's stuck in their memory. But if you give them that physical item, now they bring it back to their dorm room and they look at it over and over again and they see it 3, 4, 5, 6 times. They find it 6 months later, it's still there, they're using it. It's just embedding, you in their memory. And that's really, I think, the value that only something like a promo item can offer. So
yeah, no, I see this as very valuable. Tony, could you show where it is on our website?
Yes, I
Can you do that?
I can do that right now for you,
Yeah,
Bob.
pull up the Drive website and let's show everybody how to find Kyle.
Here we go. Okay, can you all see the website?
Yes, there it is. There's the Drive website.
Excellent. So you just scroll down to the very bottom and you're going to see where our partners are, which is right here. You see Drive Partners. And then these are our partners. You see here's 4imprint, and you see this little hyperlink that says here. Click it, and it will open up their website, but to our landing page. And then they have some recommendations here, but they also have right here to obtain your 10% savings, use the Drive 10 code. Is there anything I'm forgetting, Kyle?
no, that's it. And just for folks to know about the code, you can use that right on your web order. So if you're placing an order online, there's going to be a spot at the checkout page where you can just pop that code right in there and it'll apply the 10%. You'll see it apply. And that's good on the item prices and any setup charges that you may have. It just doesn't affect freight because we calculate that directly off UPS.
Sweet.
If you're placing an order via phone, via email, or via chat, which is a newer feature that we released, in the last year or two, you would just want to mention that code before you hopefully get too far into the order process. But we always have the ability to go back and credit an order or put it back on an order. So if it's something where even if you just placed an order a week ago and you're just finding out about our partnership on this video call, just let us know what the order number was and that you have that Drive 10 code, and we'll go back and we can refund you. And even if the order is a process, we can always get it applied. We don't charge folks card until all the items have shipped. So even if you put it in order, yesterday, we can go into that order and amend it with the code.
So if I ask for something really unique,
hold on 1 second, Tony. Wade Lennon from Monica Motors, I think he's planning a giveaway. Wants to know if you do imprinted mouse pads.
Absolutely.
Nice.
Absolutely. All different sizes. Even you probably can't see it, but I've got a giant one. We just started carrying those. So your keyboard and your mouse go on it, and it kind of serves as a wrist pad. And then of course, just the more standard, squares and circles, and various price points too. So we offer ones with just a solid single color printed on to get you a value option. And then you can get into the full color, multicolor designs where the whole surface is printed, with a photograph, or some sort of design that you would like. So,
Okay, there you go,
Cool.
Wade. Just go onto our website, scroll down to the bottom, and click their link, and you can get your talk to someone and start thinking about your mouse pads. I'm
Very
sorry,
good.
Tony. Go ahead.
No, it's fine. I was just gonna say, for like a unique item, you would actually go find it, right? Like the person who wanted the little containers for their product.
Barley therapy.
Yeah, the barley therapy. But if it's something unique like that, you'll be able to find it, or if you don't find it, you just say, well, I mean, how would that go? Like, what if I said
yeah,
a guitar pick or something? Would you be able to find a guitar pick and put my?
we can get those. Um,
Ah,
So there's a bit of a unique process that happens where if something does not exist on 4imprint.com and you don't see it, like a guitar pick, I don't know that we have those on the site right now, but our vendors that we use can't carry them. The rep that you end up working with is going to actually submit a request to a special team that we have, and we have a special team of about 7 or 8 people, and their only job is to go out and fulfill these requests to find non-standard items like a guitar pick. Then they get back and they kind of work with your rep, and we get you a quote or facilitate an order if we're able to get to that point. So, yeah, so we do have within our industry, I said we have about 45,000 items. Our industry probably has 80 to 100,000 items. So even with the large number of choices we have, there's still a lot more out there. So always definitely ask, yeah, our customer service team if there's something that you don't see that we might be able to get for you. Uh,
Nice.
there are some limitations on brands. I mentioned Yeti's a big one that comes up all the time. They have very stringent licensing and controls, and especially on the pricing that they want to offer. So they will not allow a distributor like us to sell their product. So that would be a no, but we have plenty of high-end, name brand tumblers that are just as nice as Yeti out there, for instance. So
I'd
Very good.
imagine you also work with a number of industries. Like I'm in the heart of the wine country of Oregon, and there isn't a vineyard I don't go into that they're selling their own merch,
mhm.
T-shirts, hoodies, skull caps, all imprinted with their logo. And I always thought it was very interesting that I'll spend $35 and wear that winery's logo.
Right. It's advertising for them, and you paid
Yeah,
for it.
exactly. And they probably
Beautiful.
sold that to them for probably $18 or $17, and they marked it up. So yeah, there's a large customer group too. I know when I was a rep, I had quite a few folks that they worked at, for the gift shop of a particular in business, and they would order through us to get all of their stuff.
Yeah, but a shop could do that too.
Yeah.
I've got a number of T-shirts and hoodies with shop's imprints on it, and it's a very nice giveaway.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, absolutely. Great giveaway. And some folks may be able to use it as a little bit of a profit center. And some other, kind of things that folks don't even think about all the time is maybe if there's some sort of charity organization or event that you're doing as a nonprofit, you could do a run of apparel, and then find out what a markup might be, and then all of the proceeds go to a charitable organization. We see
Great
that
idea.
you put
Great
your logo on
idea.
the sleeve, the charity goes across the chest. You sell it for $30, and $15 of it goes to the charity or the nonprofit. So
Excellent idea. Hey,
Great.
Tony, I think it's time for a station break.
I think it is. Next Friday, August 16th, we're going to have special guest Dustin Heiselman of ACR Diesel and Auto Repair of Kingsman, Arizona. And that's going to be a great show. All I can say is I once was in Kingsman, Arizona because my car broke down. So I have a real connection with Dustin. There you go.
Well, I think we've eaten up the hour, the half hour here,
I
Kyle.
think we have.
I want to thank you for joining us and enlightening us on what you can do and some great marketing ideas and branding ideas. And I wish you nothing but success. And I look forward to this partnership with you.
yeah, thank you too, and all your members. Appreciate it.
Okay.
Yeah, you betcha. Have a great weekend. Well, you don't have a bike anymore. I was going to say keep the sunny side up,
Yeah,
but
no, not yet.
still keep the sunny side up.
Hopefully soon.
All righty. See you guys.
All right. Bye-bye.